Hello junior high people. In this video I'm going to demonstrate the process I went through to create a rough draft of my surreal design. Please remember that this artwork needs to be surrealistic and it also needs to incorporate one-point perspective. The one-point perspective that you include should be a major part of the design. It shouldn't just be a small little detail or an aspect of the design that is too simplified. It needs to be a major part of it. For the rest of the video, I'm just going to walk you through what I'm doing in my drawing so that you can see what steps I took, and I can give you little tips along the way to make your artwork more successful. What I'm doing right now is I'm using the edge of the paper to measure even and precisely measured rectangles that will end up being the main structure of my drawing. And this thing that I'm creating will be in one-point perspective. The point there is I didn't just guess when I drew my rectangles. I made them more precise by measuring them away from the edge of the paper. That's going to help me in the long run. Now I'm drawing lines from the corners of those boxes, those rectangles, and I'm drawing those lines directly to the vanishing point that I drew at the very, very beginning. Now, I'm measuring away from the front edge of the box to determine where the back edge of my box is going to be. So now I'm making the back face, the back side of the box, of the inside of the box. And then I erased the extra lines that I didn't need. In the course of this video demonstration, you'll find that I'm actually adding different aspects of several of the thumbnail sketches that I produced before. So if you remember back to the thumbnail sketches, I came up with 4 separate ideas that I felt were surrealistic and that incorporated one-point perspective. And now I'm taking those ideas that I like and I'm putting them into one idea. And my thought is that that's going to make it look even more surreal. I'm going to create connections between different subjects that typically wouldn't go together. And if you remember what that's called, it's called juxtaposition. So I'm putting these different subjects together and I'm trying to form new relationships with them. You might notice that there's one of the methods of creating surreal artworks being used right now, and that is the reversal of natural laws. I'm trying to draw this tree inside of my box, and it's drawn on what I'm considering the side of the box. As far as I know, trees don't grow out of the side of things straight out, so I'm kind of messing with the natural way things are. I'm also now using another method of creating surreal artworks, and that's the double images method. So I'm kind of repeating subjects a little bit, even though they're different. I have 2 trees that basically have the same shape, but one of them is full of leaves and one of them is not. And by doing that, I feel like viewers are left to wonder if there's a reason why one of the trees has leaves and one of them doesn't. Is this like a life versus death sort of meaning? Is there another meaning to it? We want to try to find meaning in these different things. And so that's what happens when you put these things together, is they form these connections that we as viewers then wonder about and we think about. Now I'm drawing in what I consider to be the bottom side of the box, the inside of the box, and I'm creating the seascape. So that's mimicking sea. And again, that just adds to the reversal of natural laws a little bit, because you have the sea on one side and you have trees on the other side. That just doesn't make sense. It's not how the real world works. So you know, because of that, that there's a dreamlike or surreal thing happening here. Now I'm continuing with the 1-point perspective portion of my artwork, and I'm creating bricks, and the lines, the horizontal lines of the bricks, all lead to the vanishing point. If we were to look at this brick wall straight on and it was right in front of us, all of those lines would be either horizontal or completely vertical. But because the wall is tilted away from us and we're looking at it at an angle, those lines appear to converge and get closer as they move away from us. And that's the point of 1-point perspective. So I know I already mentioned this, but I included 3 of my 4 thumbnail sketches into this one artwork. And I feel that I've made it stronger, more dynamic, more interesting and creative by doing that. And so that's why I had you guys come up with multiple ideas, because sometimes those multiple ideas are really just part of one idea. I'm going to finish this rough draft as a line drawing. I'm not going to do any shading or coloring with it. That's going to come later. Right now, all I'm going to draw is all the lines and shapes that I want to see in my artwork. I'm going to try to draw them the way I want them to be. But I can still go back and change things and make adjustments and make some edits for my final draft that I'll do later. In order to do the final draft, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rough draft and a new piece of paper, and I'm going to trace this rough draft. You guys might have to do this by finding a window and a nice sunny day and taping your papers to the window in order to trace it. If you really feel like you can get away with making your rough draft into your final draft, then you go for it. But usually when we're drawing a rough draft, we make lots of mistakes, we make lots of corrections, and that means there's lots of pencil lines and eraser lines that we want to get rid of. So the next video that I bring to you will be about the final draft and what we do with that. Before I wrap this video up, I want to run through the different methods for creating surreal artworks that I've used right here in this rough draft. I've created an impossible scale, which means that the sizes of things don't match up with other things that are in the picture. You can see this in the trees and the moon, the brick wall and the sea. Now there's a rubber ducky. And there's other things that you could probably list that I have an impossible scale with. I have juxtaposition, which means combining things together in order to create new relationships between them. When you look at this artwork, you might be wondering why certain things are together and what do they mean together. Or you might be forming your own meaning when you see them together. That's the point of juxtaposition. We have the reversal of natural laws. Things just don't make natural sense in this picture. I created double images by repeating the trees, and when I did that, I enhanced or created a new meaning that we are left to wonder about. And I have personal symbolism involved in this artwork that will remain unexplained. So it has a meaning to me. Okay, that's it. Now what you guys need to do is you need to create a line drawing rough draft as well that incorporates both surrealistic elements using the methods we talked about and incorporate 1-point perspective. Make sure to read the instructions that I post on the Google Classroom. Good luck!